Today we'll talk about some spiritual war inside of your mind. In case you are dealing with hardship, with bad luck, like days and days of bad luck. You're tired, you are lacking of willpower, lacking of strength, including physical power, to get up in the morning and have the drive, the mental drive to go to work and be productive and feel good about your accomplishment. If you don't have that power, where it went? So I'll tell you something that is based on my experience and based on some of my clients' experience. I'm not your guru. I'm not your guru. But it's up to you if you want to listen to what I'm about to say. I see people struggling, especially after this made up pandemic, struggling with some with debt, some with fear, some with health issues. And to many people, it's a new thing. Now it adds up the financial burden because in most countries around the world that were part of this game, the made up pandemic game, the interest rates went up. Countries are supposed to pay back the debt they were forced into, so they borrowed money to deal with the pandemic, which was predicted. Maybe dig my other videos. I was talking about this stuff, but it affects people's lives. The quality of lives decreased in many wealthy countries, including Canada. I see people posting on Facebook unhappy about how their life changed. So when the fuel, let's say in Canada, the fuel was $1 something, $1 and a couple of cents per liter, now it's almost double in 2-3 years. And that was a made up stuff. It was like a very cleverly designed to keep people in the state of fear, in a state of concern and worry, lose strength and lose friends, lose the ability to hope. The ability to hope is also part of the mind. And if you had this type of depressive type of thinking, of course you're spiraling down, because nobody gives you the tools, the correct tools to get back up. And in order to get back up, you don't only need the correct tools, the mind tricks, but also you need emotional energy. Where this one comes from, and I mentioned that in the past, it comes from your life force. If your systems are being depleted of vital force energy, they get sick. So first, the body has very specific systems, energy systems, that are constantly checking and talking and feeding each cell of the body, each organ of the body. It's an invisible energy flow that keeps us in motion, keeps us alive. And if those energy systems are being disrupted, or something is stealing your energy, let's say your overthinking, your worries, that's a waste of energy. Your brain is not only processing and using the bioenergy that the body produces, but which we take from the nutrients and sugars and all those things that the brain requires, but also this vital energy. So it requires different types of energy in order to produce different emotions, including biochemical energy. And if you're missing some of the ingredients, then your emotional power or even the content of your thoughts is being affected. And the doctors know well that certain biochemicals are very critical or very important in functioning of your thought pattern, the way you think. If you think of depressive, you may not have enough serotonin, or you need to produce events and action that leads to the generation of dopamine, so you feel some sort of a happy or excited or feel good. So different biochemicals are very important into your ways of thinking. So lots of ingredients are in the mix. And now I'm going to talk about something related to the spirituality. If you want to get deeper into how the brain functions, yes, you can talk to psychiatrists, you can dig on the internet, you can teach yourself how the brain functions if you read piles of books, and if you have that passion. But you will always train your ways of thinking to rely on the material world fixes, like biochemicals or substances that will alter the way the brain functions. So you take those pills and you feel better, but actually it's not going to fix your emotional problem. It's just temporary fix. And I see people being on medication, and if I look in my pocket, which pocket? Different pants. I found somewhere I found a list of medication, prescription drugs for a person who lives into a sort of a semi-zombie state. Okay, semi-zombie state. And I kind of know the person somewhere in my neighborhood. I would not trade. I would not trade with that person's life. I would not trade. Regardless, I have some back pain myself. I have some other small things. But I would not want to live that type of life now, knowing it just happened that I found this thing on the floor, on the ground, this medication list, and I said, oh, I know this neighbor. Okay, I would not want to live with that type of mind. I will touch the spiritual aspect here. So, person is going through some hardship, some, like I said, series of bad events, bad luck. Okay, and nobody wants to keep going through those patterns. Nobody wants to keep taking the life beating. So everyone would try to find a fix, and the higher the pain, the higher the drive to want to get out. Okay, nobody wants to take that type of pain. You may be able to take some pills for physical pain, but for mental pain, no, you can't find. I mean, like I said, you might find some zombie making pills, but it won't give you the feel of being loved, the feel of peace, the feel of hope, stuff that you get it from God or when you pray to certain deity, generally Jesus, when you worship Jesus and you connect, you get this feel. And it's being said that Holy Spirit gives you that feel. If you don't have that type of feel, and if you have only the like a tense state, being tired all the times, being in fear all the time, if you have those signs, you might be under some sort of demonic oppression. I said I'm going to touch the spiritual topic here. Demonic oppression. How do I know that? I don't have the experience, but I read in many places, and I viewed a bunch of exorcists interviews on YouTube. So I have just a bare minimum understanding of this thing. Then I can compare to people I talk to some clients, and I'm going to share a couple of things that I put it in this longer video in case you are watching, instead of you going around browsing the internet for answer and you gathering the data. I'll give you my view with more of a condensed data from my perspective, which is not the final answer. I'm not your guru, like I said. So, demonic oppression, not possession, oppression. What is that? We are into a world, like a virtual world, between different layers, according to the spiritual level. Like in a game, you are on this level, above you is different level, and below you is different level. If you make points, you evolve, you grow, you go to the next level. Into this layer, it appears to be two important points of entry and exit, is the birth and the death of the material body, that kind of keep us connected to this layer. Once we are outside of these two boundaries, death and birth, we have to be somewhere else. Parallel to us are these other worlds. But we are, like I said, we are bonded, we are bound by this material world. So we cannot escape. We have to stay in this level till this moment, till we exit through the physical death. And some people can travel outside in a parallel world, and at the same time some other things can intersect with our world, some entities, including deities from other level, or saints, creatures like used to be humans, and now they evolved. And why they evolved, why they are saints, why they are to the next level, is because they made some points. They did something good to other characters. Yeah, that's very simple. You don't have to be super special and do acrobatics and do magic tricks in order to go to the next level. Some people try. I'll give you my opinion about this type of stuff. So now you are at your level, in the sandwich between the layers, but like I said, there are these other layers parallel to us. We just cannot cross. yet. The selection is done at the moment of disconnecting from the material world, when the soul disconnects from the physical body. That's the moment when we are being selected for the next level up or level down. But while in this level, we get to taste. We can choose our actions, and we can choose to work for better score, better karma points. Well, I say that. So we taste a little bit of the lower level, or maybe the next level up. Some people jump 2-3 levels up. They are so good at the game, doing so well. And it's not only doing well to others, but also connecting to this source of divine love, which it appears that it's a source of energy. So if you can find these tricks, but it requires a little bit of evolution, of spiritual evolution, in order to find a way to feed your body with this energy. It looks like you get the big prize. You get the Holy Spirit, then you get to connect to this divine energy, and you get the extra abilities. But also you can get extra abilities if you connect to the bad guys, to the lower entities. And I'm going to talk about that now. Then I'll conclude my video. Now, back to what I said earlier. If you're in a pain, if you're struggling with life, struggling with with tasks, incomplete tasks, like in my case, I have a couple of old projects I'm struggling with. Maybe struggling with finances, marriage, relation, and you realize that you try this and try that, but you're too tired of life. And you're not that old, you're only 30 or 25. Or if you have suicidal thoughts, hey, I'm telling you, that's some stuff that you need to consider to get some spiritual advice, because pills won't fix the bad luck. The pills, if you go to the psychiatrist, they won't tell you how to avoid getting to car accidents, 5, 6, in a short time frame, like within a couple of years, or how to avoid dealing with bad customers all the time, or how to avoid getting it from one bad relationship to another bad relationship, or you go for a date and you get raped, and you think, oh yeah, it just happened, and a year later, after you heal, you go and get raped again. And it's what the heck I did? Did I had my too much of a cleavage or something? How come I got into? Because he seemed to be a nice guy, right? So these things are kind of weird, but they don't happen to everyone. Happen to only certain people. And so if you are one of those living this type of scenario, what to do? Yeah, you need a spiritual advice, because the psychiatrist won't tell you how to avoid people breaking into your house, in your garage. How this one happened to you, and a week later you broke, you popped a tire or something. How the psychiatrist and the pills will never fix these things, right? You follow me, yes? So you need some spiritual advice. You need some counseling. You need to go to see a priest. If you don't believe in God, that's bad luck. That means you're out of luck. Maybe not. Maybe you will search some videos and you will find Doreen Varco. Let me see. Okay, because I was into. Oh no, Doreen Virtue. Okay, oracle cards. So you dig the internet for fixes because you don't go to church, and you find Doreen Vac Virtue, who's now a convert person. She's now a Christian. Let me see. So I pull out. I'm going to pull an oracle card. Anyway, so when I pulled it, like last year, it was something about healing and healer. So I said, okay, nice. Some demonic forces know my future here. Okay, back to I'm going to conclude the video. If you find these shortcuts, then you double deep into big shit, right? Because one thing is, let's say one example. Who goes to check with witches and sinners? Okay, so someone stole your cow, and go to the cops. You don't have proof, but they stole your cow, and now someone tells you, "Oh, I know, it's your neighbor stole your cow." And now you want revenge because you want to be God. You don't wait for God. But the thing is, God allowed that thief to steal from you. Why? Because you're a sinner. You're a sinner. And now you're in pain, lost your cow, and go to the witch. And the second sin. So the witch caused the evil to fix your problem. Okay, then you get into big stuff. That's why you get life unfortunate events. That's why you get trouble. That's why you get demonic oppression.